guys, welcome back to my channel. In this video today I'm going over this half Batman and half Superman look. This was highly requested because the Batman vs Superman movie comes out in the next few days, so I wanted to film this for you guys because this is what you're asking for. I hope that you guys enjoyed this tutorial. If you do, please give it a very big thumbs up, it helps me out so much. And if you're not already, subscribe to my channel for weekly special effects and body paint tutorials. If you want to see how I did it, then just keep on watching. So to start out the video, the first thing I'm going to do is pop my hair into a really tight, low ponytail. I'm going to be painting my hair today, so I need it to be nice and sleek and pulled back. I'm then going to take a black contact lens and pop that into my left eye. This is going to be the eye that I'm painting my Batman side on. It's going to give a really cool contrast between the dark eye of Batman and the bright blue eye of Superman. I then just continued to hairspray all of my flyaways so I have a nice base for painting later. I'm then going to take a nude lip liner and start to map out the straight line dividing the two characters. It's going to go straight down the center of my face and my chest, and then I'm also going to lightly map out Batman's mask. Then I'm going to take a washable glue stick and I'm going to apply this on my eyebrow to flatten it down to my face. This is going to block it out so it won't be visible underneath the paint. I'm only going to do this on the side where I'm going to be painting Batman because Superman is going to have eyebrows in this video. I'm then going to take a Q-tip with a little bit of water and just rub that around the edges to remove any excess glue, because when you do paint over glue it will have a shiny appearance, so just remove anything that you don't need. For Superman, the first thing I'm going to do is apply a really high coverage foundation all over my face and my neck. I really wanted to have a perfect and flawless base for this look because he's obviously a comic book character and won't have any blemishes on his skin. I need this to look as real as possible, so I need to have a nice even skin tone. I'm then going to take a concealer and use this to highlight and give me some more coverage as well. I'm going to be popping that underneath my eye, on my chin, my jawbone and the center of my forehead and nose. Then I'm just going to press that into the skin with my beauty blender and buff that all away. I'm going to set all of that in place with a translucent powder and I'm just going to pack that on the areas where I placed the concealer. For the rest of the skin I'm going to leave it nice and dewy without setting it with any product. After I have the foundation down, I'm going to divide the two characters by drawing a straight line down the center of my face. I'm only going to go as far as my chin at the moment because I'm going to be doing my chest later. I'm then going to lightly map out Batman's mask as well, where his chin is showing. For the colour of Batman's suit, I custom mixed together blue, grey and black, and this gave me this kind of deep navy colour that had a lot of grey and blue tones in it. I then painted that all over the face and brought that up into my hairline. It looks quite light when I apply it, but when it dries it goes to a almost black but more of a blue-black colour. I'm then going to be applying that in my ears and down the side of my face and my chin as well. Then with a smaller brush I'm going to apply pure black around my eye socket area just to make it nice and dark, and then I just took that black and applied it in certain spots throughout the mask to give it a little variation of colour so it wasn't so bright. Then I'm going to divide the center of my chest with that same black paint and thin brush, and I'm going to connect that up to the line in the center of my chin. I'm also going to outline Batman's collar and just move my hair over to the side and fill in that same blue-black mixture that I used on the face on the neck. While that's drying, I decided to pop my hair up into a French roll, which is kind of a flat bun at the back of your head, and I'm going to pin all of that down so it's not too visible when I turn my head from left to right. Hopefully you won't be able to see my bun to distract from the characters that I'm painting. I'm then going to start painting Superman's hairline. You can paint this however you like. I wanted to have a little bit of an exaggerated hairline going back and receding in a certain spot. So I'm going to take a larger brush and pop that black face paint all up into my real hairline, and this is going to blend the two together to make it look more realistic. For the rest of my hair I'm going to take some black hairspray and just apply that all over my whole entire scalp and all over the back of my bun as well, so then that's going to blend in as much as possible. Then I took a black eyeliner and lined my waterline on the Batman side of my face just to really darken it up because the contact lens has made my eyes look a little bit larger on that side. I'm also going to apply some of that eyeliner on the center of my lid because it's starting to smudge and crease. Now it is time to give Superman some brows, so I'm just going to take a thin detailing brush and that same black face and body paint, and I'm going to start applying that in the shape of a more manly cartoon brow. So I went with a really straight front that had almost no arch, and I extended the tail of the brow quite far past my natural eyebrow. Then while I had that paintbrush, I painted on the iconic curl that Superman has. It obviously has to be to the side because I'm only doing half a look, but I was quite happy with the placement. I applied it where I had the receding hairline, so it kind of made sense to the look. Then I took a warm brown and started to contour and chisel out my face. Now this does need to be harsh because it's going to be a comic book look. It doesn't need to be natural as if you're going out on a daily basis. I am going to blend it out the tiniest bit so it doesn't look too crazy, but as I said I want it to be nice and harsh to give a really good impact. Moving on to Batman, he needs flawless skin as well. Superman can't have everything, so I'm going to apply foundation on the inside of Batman's mask where his face is revealing to give it a nice flawless look. Then I'm moving on to the chest, so first of all I'm going to paint Superman's collar to his costume, and then after I did that I wanted the two characters to align, so I'm going to be extending Batman's out a little bit further past my shoulder, and then I'm going to fill that in with that same black and blue face and body paint. With a fine detailing brush, I'm going to start mapping out where the cape is going to be sitting on Superman's shoulder, and then I'm going to move on to the emblem in the center of his chest. I wanted the two emblems of Batman and Superman to line up, so I wanted them to be pretty much even in where they were sitting on the chest area to make it look like it is an exact half and half split of each character, and it kind of just looks a little bit neater as well when they are sitting on the same level. So for now I'm just painting on the outline of the bat. Now I am aware that this isn't the correct emblem or the symbol of the bat that's going to be in the upcoming movie, but I wanted to go with the more cartoony version because I actually like this one a lot better, and I feel like if you're going to do a body paint you want to choose what you think is more beneficial to the look. I thought this just stood out more and it was a lot more recognizable. The new bat symbol is quite square and flat, and I did have trouble actually painting it, so I went with the one that I know and the one that I like better. I'm then going to just fill all of that in, and then I'm going to take a fine detailing brush and then I'm going to start outlining the S for Superman. Now as you guys are aware, or if you're maybe not aware, you will have to paint the S backwards because you're going to be painting in a mirror, so don't forget that when you start painting on your chest. But if you do paint it the correct way, which would actually be the incorrect way, there's no big deal. You can always just flip the image or flip the video to make it work in your favor. Then I'm going to go in with a bright blue and fill in the whole entire clothing part of the costume. I didn't actually have the correct Superman blue in my kit, so I mixed this color together with a light and dark blue. The best thing about body painting is that you can do it on a budget. If you used water-based paints or even creams, you can mix to get the color that you need. So you don't need to buy every single color out there. You can just have fun, learn your colors, and use what you have. So then I'm going to go in with a red and I'm going to fill in the cape area of the suit. And I'm also going to use that red on the emblem on the chest, on the border, and for the S as well. I'm really glad that a whole bunch of you guys recommended for me to do this tutorial because I really wouldn't have done it if you didn't ask, and I'm so glad with the result. If you guys have any other suggestions, please leave them in the comments below so I can prioritize and work out what I'm going to film next. I'm then going to go in with a yellow and fill in the remaining areas around the S, and then I did have to tidy it up with a little bit of black paint as well. So once I've done that, this is what the base block colors look like of the Superman chest without any highlight and shading. I'm then going to pre-mix up some more colours, so I'm going to take some navy blue, some white and some black to create this dulled grey colour with a little bit of blue in it. I applied a darker colour around the perimeter of my arm, and then I mixed up the same colour with a little bit more white for the centre of my chest. This is going to really make the bat stand out and just give it that little bit more contrast rather than applying the darker colour everywhere. To create the bat ear, I just took a bit of cardboard and hairsprayed it with the black hairspray that we used earlier. Then I positioned it onto my head and bobby pinned it to the back of my hair. Now this is really going to bring the look to life. It's going to give it a little bit more of a three-dimensional look because it's not just body paint, and it really makes the character recognizable because everybody knows who Batman is with his pointy ears. I'm then going to take that same grey that I used on the body earlier, and I'm going to be sparsely applying this throughout the mask to give it highlight points, and I'm going to lightly tap it to blend it out to give it more of a chunky and textured feel. Using that fine detailing brush and taking some black face paint, I'm going to define a more angry looking eyebrow on the Batman side of the face. Looking back at the footage, I'd probably make it a little bit bigger and a little bit more angry, but at the time I was quite happy with the size. It's totally up to you and what you guys prefer. So then I'm going to move on to shading. I'm going to take a brown warm eyeshadow and I'm going to start applying that around the collar of the Superman chest. And then I'm going to be applying a little butt chin on the Superman side. I know that Batman also has one, but I wanted to separate the characters by giving them different features. So I'm going to define my chin more and that contour. I'm also going to apply shading underneath the hairline and that little curl sitting on top of my skin. So then you can actually see the shadow from where it's sitting above. This is going to make it look a little bit more cartoony and give a little bit more depth. Then I'm going to take that same warm brown and apply that on the lower lash line, and I'm going to really buff that in and slightly bring that up into my outer V to change my eye shape and to also give a little bit of colour to the centre of the face because we obviously aren't going to be putting blush on Superman. Now I am going to take a fine detailing brush and a little bit of black face and body paint, and I'm going to smudge that into the lower lash line. I don't really want this to look like eyeliner, but I do need it to look like Superman's eyes were drawn because he is a 2D object drawn on paper, so he is obviously going to have some sort of an outline. I'm then going to repeat that same step by applying and smudging out on my top lash line. Then it's time for me to draw in my contour, so I'm just going to draw a straight line going straight up to the top of my ear, and then I'm going to outline my jaw to make it look nice and defined as well. That really enhances the contour that we previously placed. As you guys can see, it really pops out. And I really like that the two bottoms of the chins don't exactly join up. I really think that it makes it look like two separate characters. I said before I wanted them to be aligned, but after I did that I was like, maybe not. So I'm going to take some black shadow and apply that on the chest area to start the shading. I'm also going to give myself some stubble on the Batman side by lightly brushing that all over the chin area. You will also need to outline your ears to make it match the face. I didn't outline every feature of my ear because then it would just look like a maze. So I only went with certain prominent features to give it that little bit of black to match the whole entire look, but I didn't want to distract. I'm then going to use a small dotting motion and I'm going to tap that out with my finger to apply some stubble and some 5 o'clock shadow. This is just going to give a different texture to Superman's flawless skin as opposed to Batman's stubbly skin. Using that fine detailing brush, I just applied a contour down the sides of my neck. Then I repeated the exact same contour, but I used a highlight instead and did the exact same shapes on the Batman side. And this is going to give a contrast of colors because the highlight is going to be coming down onto Batman's shoulder and it's going to be quite bright. I am going to blend these out. This is a cream, so it's going to blend nicely over the top of the watercolor. So I'm going to buff that out with a clean brush, and also you can use your hands and your fingers as well to warm up the product and really melt the two together. Using that same method of highlighting, I'm going to use a white cream and apply that in all the areas that I want to stand out, and then I'm just going to lightly buff that out with a clean brush to melt the two products together so I don't get too much of an intense color payoff. I'm going to be repeating this step for highlighting all over the whole entire Batman and Superman suit. I'm also going to apply that into Superman's hair to make it nice and shiny. When you're body painting and you apply highlight, you do have to apply shade to counteract with that, and it's going to double the effect as well. So I'm taking some black eyeshadow and I'm going to buff that all around the border of the emblem, and then I'm going to take that white cream and apply that throughout the suit. I'm just going to keep highlighting in areas that I want to bring forward from the light, so the opposite places of where I've applied the shadow. I'm going to be applying that mainly around the bat in the center of my chest and also on either shoulder to show that there is light shining from there. Because this is two different looks, you can have light sources coming from all different places. I'm then just going to buff that all together using a clean brush. So that's it guys, that is the end of my tutorial. Thank you to everybody out there who requested for me to do this look. I hope that I did it justice and that it was what you guys were after. What I love most about this is how cool it is to look at the characters individually. I've never really done a true half and half look where I do two different characters. I usually just do half of myself and half of something else. So I thought that it was really cool to kind of just break down the characters and have a look at them separately, and as a whole they all fit together as well because of the proportions. So if you guys recreate any of my work, please tag me on Instagram so I could see it. And if you want to be in my videos, please tag it at BC Showcase, where I create compilations of all of the beautiful subscribers that recreate my work, and I upload it onto my channel. I can't thank you guys enough for watching and for subscribing. I'll see you in my next one. Bye guys.